All right, welcome back to the show. Today is Thursday. So, since it's Thursday, you know somebody else is out there telling a story about Gervonta Davis. This time, it is that he has fired his trainer, Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis. Let's talk about this firing in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to do this again because this is deja vu all over again. If you pay close attention to the PBC, or you pay close attention to YouTube channels that talk about the PBC, you will get a very consistent theme that continues to repeat itself. The PBC puts on fights. The YouTube channels lie about the fights and the fighters that they're putting on. In a very, very consistent anti-PBC propaganda campaign that has been going on for a very long time. Almost 2 decades at this point. Walking up on 2 decades of boxing shooting itself in the foot, right? Cutting its nose off to spite its face. And it just continues. So yesterday, during the live stream, I was informed that rumor has it Gervonta Davis has fired Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford. Fired them. Longtime trainers. Now, this is big news because the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach is less than 4 weeks out. So who exactly is supposed to be taking over the training of an 8-week training camp 4 weeks out? You haven't seen any training footage. I don't think I've seen any training footage, but just because you haven't seen any training footage doesn't mean people aren't training. It could very well mean that there's no training footage because they don't want to put training footage out so people know what they're working on. I know Kenny Ellis. I know Calvin Ford. Those guys are very I hope I'm using the word right, circumspect about their strategies and the things that they do. And there's a lot of trainers that are not very happy about people walking in and having cameras in their workout facilities, in their gyms before their fighter fights somebody. All that's inside information, all of that stuff can be used as tools to defeat your fighter. So it seems to me as if people once again run with the fact that they may not see Calvin Ford in a picture with Gervonta because Gervonta's hitting pads with somebody in a warm-up or something like that. Or they just don't see him in a picture. Oh, they got fired. Now, why do you do this? Why do they do this? To constantly try to subvert Gervonta Davis's camp. By adding more noise and more nonsense to YouTube, to the internet, so that people can speculate and wonder what the problems are. And they can just generally give a lot of negative energy that otherwise would not be in the environment at all, having it directed at their camp. You've literally seen the people that do these things actually call into shows that Gervonta's in and those guys are in, pay money to sow dissension amongst those guys. Gervonta doesn't like him. Oh, Gervonta doesn't like Mayweather. Oh, Gervonta doesn't like Leonard Ellerbe. Oh, Leonard Ellerbe doesn't like Calvin Ford. Oh, Calvin Ford doesn't. All that gossipy stuff that people do when they're trying to basically destabilize an organization. That's what it seems like it is now. It's just twofold though. One is it destabilizes and makes people think about Gervonta Davis in a negative light. Like, why would he be firing his coach? They've been around so long. That's so terrible that he would do that. He's so unloyal. I mean, why would he do that? He's not like Devin Haney. Devin would never fire his trainer. You know, they're basically the same noise machine that was riding off of that and tearing down Gervonta, just still do the same thing to Gervonta. Like, hey, man, that part of the job isn't over and maybe Devin Haney can rise eventually. Anyway, I suspect, seeing as I was told by people that are in the boxing gym there, that this is not true. But again, this is deja vu all over again, because we do this every fight. If Gervonta Davis was still with Floyd Mayweather, the stories would be the terrible relationship that Gervonta Davis has with Floyd Mayweather. That's what it would be. Because it was that for years, despite the fact that he didn't leave for years. But then eventually they part ways, and they're like, I told you, you said that for like 5 years. Eventually Gervonta Davis was gonna leave Floyd Mayweather Jr. because of the path that Gervonta Davis was on, man. He was not meant to be with the dude forever. But anyway, that you hear that line, you hear just like you used to hear, the PBC's going broke. Al Heyman is dying. PBC's going broke. They don't have any dates with Amazon. Where are these dates from Amazon? Where are these fights? Well, we've been getting fights on Amazon, got more fights coming up with Amazon. But yet, hey man, don't worry. The story's going to be out next week because it's, again, like I said, it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat with the same stuff. Gervonta Davis is probably going to have his entire career with Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis. Gervonta Davis is a 30-year-old man. Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford, like myself, are over 50 years old. Gervonta Davis is not going to be buddy hanging out with them, going around, buying jewelry with them. They are grown men who met him as a child. That young man has his own life and is not going to be curled up underneath them all the time. So just because you don't see them together doesn't mean they're not working together because it's not on camera. But, anything to sell a story, I guess. But people over time get a little sick of it because you are definitely pouring salt on Gervonta Davis's name. You are trying to create a sense of unsteadiness, of instability in their organization that very well may not exist at all, but only exists because you decide to let your imagination run wild because Calvin Ford's not in the picture with them. Anyway, it's absolutely ridiculous, man. It's been ridiculous for a long time, but you just got to keep going with it. Because, hey, man, Gervonta Davis is going to be fighting Lamont Roach. When Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis walk out with him and are in his corner, you are not going to hear any apologies from the people that said that he had been fired. You're going to hear some stupid crap like, that's subject to change. Everything's subject to change. I told you it was the truth, but, hey, it's not true, so I didn't lie. I knew it was. I didn't know that it was true to begin with, even though I told you it was true. It's just ridiculous, man. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I don't always respond to comments because, honestly, I need to give myself a little mental headspace, but I do appreciate it. If you really want to make sure that you get in contact with me, though, you should follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram and hit me up in the DMs there. Usually I respond there as long as it's, as long as it is a polite conversation. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.